Hey there, happy Thursday. So I wanted to share that today is day 6 on fasting, and I wanted to share some big mistakes that sometimes can happen. I've been feeling pretty good until today, and I said in my last video that around day 5, 6, no matter how many years I've been doing 7-day fast, around day 5, 6, I feel pain, and I get either a headache or a little nauseous, a little lightheaded. So I wanted to explain more about what that is that's going on when you hit your, some people call it hitting your wall, or having a cholesterol dump, or when your body has really hit the point of its detox. Okay, and it's a different time for everybody because some people's metabolisms are much faster and some people's metabolisms are much slower, and some people's organs are kind of sluggish and not doing their job as well, and some people's other organs are really working well. So it's different for everybody. If you have a real slow digestive system, you might be waiting a while for that to work. If your kidneys are overworking already, you might really feel it in your kidneys. If you're, I want to say this because I forgot to say it about the book Fasting, but everything I've studied about fasting over the years really is important about this. If you have an area of your body when you're fasting, once you get past the gut, like if you're doing a 1-day fast or a 3-day fast, you probably won't notice it as much. But if you're doing a 7, 10, 21-day fast, you will really hit a point where there will be things in your body hurting for about a day, 2 days, and then it might go away it'll lift, it will go away, it'll lift, but then it'll come back maybe one more day, and that's just your body cleaning itself out. But if you're somebody that, say, always gets migraines, when you get run down, you just always get migraines, you may get one. I don't want to say you might or you will, definitely, because I don't want to suggest anything and then have you be looking for it. Because that suggestion just there of telling you what might happen could make you have something you don't really have, because it's different for everybody. But I'm just trying to give an example. Like for me, the areas of my body that always act up are my neck, my throat, obviously, my neck, my head, and my lower back. And a lot of times it's my kidneys. So today is day 5 going into 6. So by last night I started noticing I was getting really bad pains in my lower back. Really bad. And I was like, geez, I didn't do anything. I didn't lift anything. And it always catches me by surprise where I'm going to get that. It's your body's telling you, this is where I need attention. This is where the detox flushing is going on. So now all of a sudden you have really bad pain. I mean, I haven't had pain like this since 2009. And it'll be a different place all the time. It just means that that's where it really needs to clean. But if you are getting lower back pain and stomach pain and just really bad pain, it could also be that you aren't drinking enough water too. So you want to make sure to really drink enough water when you're fasting, and especially if you're on a medication like a blood pressure pill that has a diuretic in it. Your kidneys are going to be working extra hard, making water, squeezing it out of you, so you want to be extra careful. When you first get up in the morning, you might be a little dizzy once you're approaching 7, going for that 7-day fast. So you want to get up kind of slow. Don't just jump out of bed and be like, running around. You'll be like, whoa, I feel tall all of a sudden because your body's clearing out. The other thing is it will pinpoint areas in your body that you have issue. Like you might have a sensitive tooth. I have a sensitive wisdom tooth. I've had work done on it, and I know that eventually I need to get the whole tooth taken out. But for right now, I have a crown on it. So those things become more noticeable when you're fasting. All of a sudden you're like, why is my tooth hurting me again? What? I thought that was all fine. I thought it was taken care of. Why is it? Things like that. If you know you're somebody that carries all your stress and your pain, and when you get sick you always get nauseous or a stomach ache, that might happen. Or it could be someplace totally different that you're like, elbow, really? Maybe you got something going on in your elbow that needs to clear out. Maybe there's cells in there that just need to start eating each other up and ridding and cleansing. So be prepared for that. But it's different I swear it's different every month, every year that I do this. It's a different part of my body that just kind of like flares up and goes, argh, and it really hurts, and you really feel crappy, and you might feel like you got the chills. I definitely have the chills today. I don't feel good. I'm all crampy and and I definitely have a lot of walking to do today to get my errands done. The person that I usually depend on to give me rides places doesn't have a car and a lot going on, and where I have to go there, I'm gonna have to walk or take a cab. And I was really looking out there and thinking, nah, not in the rain, not today, I don't know. So I might just not do what I need to do today and just wait and take a cab or take a bus another day. So when you're fasting, if you have a lot of things to do and you're suddenly not feeling too good, and I've been feeling great up until today, but if suddenly you're not feeling too good, that's where the detox is coming in. You'll be tempted to go eat or break your fast, and you can, but it will stop the detox process. So if you could ride it out, just be gentle with yourself, get a little warm, cozy blanket, put a little heat on that spot that hurts, or ice. I know some people would take a Tylenol or an ibuprofen, but I would think on an empty stomach, you don't want to make your kidneys have to work extra hard and your liver and everything. So I would say try to do things to pamper yourself. If you wanted to introduce some warm lemon water or maybe a couple crackers, especially if you're taking medicine and you're fasting, which you should have checked with your doctor, remember. Just those little things. So those little things will pop up like, oh, that tooth, can really feel that. So it's still healing, or it's getting more healed by the detox. Food really does bog us down and interrupt what our body, the way Americans eat. I want to say, well, not just America, but now in the way modernized civilians eat now, civilized countries. Really, we weren't meant to be eating every day, even, or 3 meals a day, even. Our bodies were meant to hunt for food and go gather. Actually, our bodies were meant to gather food from the garden in paradise that God had for us. We had everything we needed there. And then we had to hunt for food. And that takes time. If you've ever watched an animal in your house, like a domestic, my cat, I watch him all the time. If there's a spider in the house, or a centipede, or fly, or anything, he literally won't eat. He will just keep on hunting and lift his head up and sniff the air, and just keep on that. And he won't go eat his regular food because he knows there's something else he wants to catch. So think of people that used to have to go out and wait for the harvest and gather their food and then clean it and cook it, and people that also had to go hunt animals. They also had to clean the animal and gut it, clean it, take the fur off of it, boil it. A lot of work. So, yeah. Which just made me think of, for some reason, I don't know why. I just thought of Beverly Hillbillies with Grandma in the kitchen making squirrel soup or something. Possum soup and squirrel soup and all that kind of stuff. Boy, if I ever had to live off the land, we'd have plenty of squirrels where I live. And then another book, I didn't bring it in here. I gotta grab it really quick. One book that I really, really want to go over. It's really old. I got it when I was in college. It's an excellent book, and I want to go over it. Hang on one second. Okay, I hear the clunk of my sneakers. All right, so this book, wow, it's really old. It's so old. This book I had to read in social work when I became a social worker, and the title is a little bit deceptive because it says "Living Poor." Okay, and it's written by Maurice Thompson. And it's a Peace Corps chronicle. Now it's about a man that went on a mission in the Peace Corps and ended up helping people farm, and what he learned by living among farmers. And so I'll just read the back of it to you really quick. I'm sorry, wait a minute. It was a sociology anthropology book that I had to read. Okay. The most distinctive piece of writing I have ever seen come out of the Peace Corps' experience. Everything about this book is fine, and this includes getting to know the author and the freshness of his writing. It's a really fun book to read, but it's kind of, as you can see, mine is really older. Because I bought it in the bookstore at RIT, and it was already used, and so it's kind of old. Let me just read this to you. A 48-year-old, I can never say his name, Maurice Thompson, a 48-year-old pig farmer turned Peace Corps volunteer, was assigned to Ecuador in 1965. Filled with idealism and equipped with a vocabulary of halting Spanish, he found in the village of Rio Verde a poverty which was the accumulation of decades of ingrained attitudes and behavior patterns. For 4 years, Thompson immersed himself in Rio Verde's day-to-day struggles. At night, he heard the rats scurrying through the tiny houses. For weeks at a time during the dry season, he knew the meaning of drought. Living and working in the village, trying to establish a cooperative in the face of deep-rooted apathy and distrust, Thompson became involved in a complex network of friendships and jealousies and loyalties and rivalries. In Living Poor, Thompson describes his encounter with an alien culture. His book is sometimes horrifying, others hilarious, and always moving. His amazing ability to convey both comedy and compassion, and he really can, in a fast-moving earthly prose, gives his chronicle an unforgettable quality. Now, what he really points out here is they really lived off the land. The people really did live off the land. And he kept trying, as a Peace Corps person, to try to change the way they farmed and to try to make them come to a greater way of keeping food and storing food and everything. And they really had gotten to it, which is why it's called Living Poor. They had come to a hand-to-mouth kind of in the now living poor mentality, where just a better way of saying it is living frugal. Just if we have corn today, we bring corn home. If we have melons today, we bring melons home. And not trying to sell, make a lot of money, or, you know, mass produced or any of that, which he was really being from the Peace Corps is trying to lift their economic situation, but he wasn't looking at the culture, which was of a mindset of God is going to give us what we need from the grain, from the sand, from the seed, and what we have we're going to share. And just an excellent book that looks at how some parts of the world eat less, move more, are healthier mentally and physically, and really honor the seed that they put in the ground and make it spread by just being good neighbors. And he ended up learning more than he went to teach them, and he ended up learning more from them. So really cool book. And he does talk about fasting, about going a long time without food because there was nothing growing. And there were times he wanted to kill the rats and use it as chicken, which, you know, everyone says rat can taste like chicken. So there were plenty around there, and the people were like, no, honor the rats, you don't kill them. So, very enlightening book. So I want to tell you about that. And I think there's a couple times he went like 60 days without food. And I'm not telling people to do this because, believe me, it can really mess with your health. I'm just saying, I'm just checking back to let you guys know how I'm doing on mine. And I'm getting close to my 7 days, so pretty soon I can start eating. And when I go to eat again, I will just introduce very light things for my digestion. Because my, you know, I don't want to overload it. So, broth, applesauce, from light food like cream of wheat or light or oatmeal, something light, soft-boiled egg. I wouldn't even do tuna when I'm breaking a fast because I think it's too harsh on your esophagus and your stomach, maybe with all the mercury in it, I don't know. Mild foods, it's very mild, like a potato. You'll want potassium. So potato, melon, just little tiny things, crackers to snack on. Like today's going to be my day that I'm going to go shopping and get some stuff. Hopefully, I don't know if it really stopped raining or not. It's been raining on and off all day, so I don't know yet. But yeah, I wanted to get back to you and let you know that you will have aches and pains if you are doing a 7-day. You probably won't if you do a 3, but I don't know. Well, I think I used to do 3 days every now and again. And I usually just found I had more energy. And I'd say around day 4 or 5, you will be hearing your stomach gurgling and growling more. So that might be something that could be embarrassing when you're out. Because your stomach will all of a sudden just be like, whoa. But it's really not that long. So good luck if you are fasting, and I hope you're having a good experience. Okay, and just one more book to add to your reading is Living for a Peace Corps Chronicle by Maurice Thompson. I should read the back of it for you though, real quick. For 3 years, Maurice Thompson lived in Rio Verde, Ecuador, as just another person in a poor village, making friends and enemies like one more citizen in the town. He was a 48-year-old farmer who had joined the Peace Corps because he was good at 2 things they said they needed: living poor and farming. Until there are many more like this man from every walk of life, we cannot hope to understand or truly help the people we have tried so hard to reach. And I think what I took away from the book back then, like in 1988, 89 when I read it, was he had an attitude of, I must go help these people learn how to do better and save them I must go rescue these people and teach them how to not be poor. And he really argued that mindset of being poor, but then he realized they were actually very rich. They were soul rich. They were culturally rich, and food was not high on their priority list until it became their way of income, and then they were poor. But they still made do. So because they were farmers. So that's it. That's the book I'm recommending for everyone. If you're going to fast, try this. But it's not really living poor. It's living in any circumstances you're at and making the best of it. Okay, that's my video. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye.